The myth of martyrdom. On a plane in a crisis, the flight attendant's instructions are always the same. Put on your own oxygen mask before helping anyone else. Your first instinct is to leap into rescue mode, to help the person next to you, your child, the elderly woman across the aisle. But without oxygen, you lose consciousness in seconds, and then you're of no use to anyone. Leadership is exactly the same, but almost no one treats it that way. I wrote your oxygen mask first because the dominant narrative about leadership is wrong. The prevailing message, embedded in culture, reinforced by peers, whispered in the small hours of exhausted mornings, is that a good leader puts the business first, sacrifices first, sleeps last, has no personal needs that matter. I call this the myth of martyrdom, and it is slowly destroying some of the best leaders I've ever met. The dichotomy of leadership. Leadership is the most exhilarating and most destructive way to spend your life. On the upside, you build things you once only imagined. You push your personal limits beyond what you thought possible. You create meaning, income, impact, and relationships that change the world around you. On the dark side, leadership can crush people made of steel. The pressure is real. The loneliness at the top is real. The weight of decisions that affect other people's livelihoods is real. There are moments, and most CEOs have them, even if they don't talk about them, when you seriously wonder if you have the stomach for it all. The myth of martyrdom is what happens when leaders respond to the dark side by doubling down on self-sacrifice, by working harder, sleeping less, neglecting health, relationships, the things that restore them. They tell themselves it's temporary, it's always temporary, and then it becomes permanent. If you buy into the myth of martyrdom, you will eventually be pummeled by your own success. You're getting squeezed out. Most leaders see their world in two categories: work and life. Life is everything outside of work: family, friends, personal interests. And they spend years telling themselves they'll invest more in life when the business settles down. The business never settles down. What they're missing is a third category: self, not work. Not the people and causes you care about, just you. The things you do because they replenish you, that make you stronger, sharper, more capable of everything else. In the tyranny of work and obligations, self gets squeezed out entirely. Leaders stop exercising, stop pursuing personal interests, stop taking real vacations, stop being the full version of themselves. And the result is a CEO who is technically available but increasingly hollow, going through the motions of leadership without the energy and clarity that makes leadership powerful. Work self-life passion. The alternative to work-life balance, which, let's be honest, is a lovely idea that doesn't work for people wired the way we are, is what I call work self-life passion. Work self-life passion is about fully experiencing enthusiasm in all aspects of your life. It's not balance, it's not equal thirds. For most driven leaders, greatness might be 60% work, 30% self, 10% life, or some other weighting that reflects who you actually are. The point is that you choose the ratio consciously, rather than defaulting to 95% work and wondering why everything else feels hollow. If you have 100 units of passion to spend every week, and you spend 99 of them at work, the people you love are getting the scraps. And so is the version of yourself that has the perspective and resilience to lead well. Permission to put yourself first. The most important thing I want to say to any CEO reading this is simple. You have permission to take care of yourself, not as a luxury, not when things calm down. As a non-negotiable precondition of being great at your job. The leaders I've worked with who sustain extraordinary performance over decades, people like Angela Santiago at the Little Potato Company, Vishal Gupta at Ashiana Housing, don't just work hard. They invest relentlessly in their own energy, their own resilience, their own capacity to keep showing up at a high level. That investment in self is not separate from their business success. It is the foundation of it. Put on your mask first, not because it's easier, because it's the only way to keep helping everyone else. Challenge. What is the one thing you've stopped doing for yourself? Exercise, a personal interest, time with people you love, that you keep telling yourself you'll get back to when things slow down. Schedule it this week. The business won't fall apart, and you'll be better at every other thing on your list.